Okay. Let's see if this stream actually goes through. Let's see if my phone's even charged. Oh, it is. And it's, for some reason, not connected to my Wi-Fi. Are you connected to my Wi-Fi? I think you are. What's up, Ethan? You are connected to the Wi-Fi. I see. That means the server can know. Billions must watch. Streamlabs is doing the weird thing where the stream, like the chat for me is this window right here. What you're seeing me pinch on the screen right now is where the chat is for whatever reason. But that's where it is, so that's what we're going to have to deal with. I don't know why it does that, but hey, at least the streams aren't stuck on unlisted anymore. Okay. Now. You know what, actually? Let me try restarting the app. Just real quick. Just 1 second. Guess what? Chat's back in the corner again. Not in the corner, but like you're like this whole window again down here. So, hooray! All right. Let's get this going. We're going to do normal, hot, extra high spin for the 35-minute spin. No, I know it's crazy, but that's what I'm doing. A touch above normal and heavy with a pre-wash, and I'm assuming we're going to need all 3 extra rinses for this. If we don't need all 3 extra rinses, then we can always cut one off. It's just how it is. And what could possibly be washed on this cycle? Well, something that probably shouldn't be on normal, but knowing this machine, this is the best cycle for it. Yep, that's what we're doing. Now, my loading strategy for this is very interesting, one could say. We've got to put them in fourths. Matthew was supposed to be on this stream, but he's low-key asleep right now, I think. So, next time he's on a stream with someone, or just the next time you hear from him, boo him. Boo. I don't know if it's going to be in the server. I don't know where it's going to be. Boo him. Let me tell you, the MFR 80 did a really good job on these, so it's going to be a little hard for this thing to compete with that. I mean, they were straight up tumbling in there, but I'd say loading-wise, you could easily fit a 5th one in the middle, but as far as, you know, balancing goes, this is the easiest way to get it to actually do that. And then just give it a few smacks around in the sides. And there you go. You've just loaded it. Now, what detergent do we use with pillows? I personally don't like using powder or pods with pillows just because, you know, it doesn't exactly dissolve the best with those. However, I did just get this. It's just concentrated Persil liquid. This stuff is really good. I wish I got the Oxy one, but, you know, whatever. This is mainly the test load for this. So if I'm not a fan of this, I'm probably going to use it on clothes. Who am I kidding? I'm going to use Power Pods anyways. But we're going to use the cap for the pre-wash just to see what happens, you know. But you guys know me. And all is made by Persil as well. It's just Henkel in general, the person who makes the detergent, makes a whole bunch of different detergents. Same with Procter & Gamble, Tide, Gain, that stuff. All the same. So, this here is a all cap from a non-concentrated version. And this is supposed to be, for the non-concentrated version of this, because this is the ultra-concentrated, this would be the cap that you would use. Let me just let that sink in. He's ringing the doorbell. Let that sink in, fellas. So, we're just gonna for the pre-wash, we'll actually like dose it right. See what happens here. The main wash, just give it a full thing of this. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Well, without further ado, I like how the cap actually tells you how much you're using in milliliters. Like this is it's 70 mils for the cap. I like that. I know you hardly know me, but I'm up to join the stream sometimes. I appreciate that, but like you just said, I hardly know you, chat. John was also supposed to be on the stream, actually. But guess what? He dipped out last minute, too. Everyone just dipped last minute. And it's kind of hard to do it on weekdays because everyone's got school and shit. But then again, I have work starting tomorrow. So, you know, can't exactly blame them. Okay. Let's start this up. I've got sheets out here, too. I don't know if I'm going to get to them, but I plan on doing this at least once per night until the bed is done. One stream every night until the entire bed is done. So if I have to sleep on top of the comforter, no biggie. Well, there's something inside of that part of the, Have you ever used European Persil? I have. I used a German Persil, and it was incredible. I wonder how long this is going to sense in at. I know that the spin alone is 30 minutes. An hour 24. Honestly, for pillows, sounds about right. I'm going to let it do that. I'm going to let it do it. So, I'm going to give it... Oh, this stuff is like cyan blue. Like, Tide is like a deep blue usually. Also, my mom got more Arm & Hammer again. This is like a cyan blue. I really like the looks of this. Let's give it a go. Also, interestingly, for ultra concentrated, I was expecting much thicker. It's almost the consistency of like... Oh, what, like... It's almost the consistency of like, melted ice cream, I'd say, would be a really good interpretation of it. Not nearly as thick as I expected. I'm going to watch water levels, and we'll see how long it takes these to saturate. I'm sure it's going to take a minute. Now that I just looked at the cycled request forms, there's already 59. Oh my god, I forgot about mine entirely. I probably have like 100, bro. I'm cooked. I might just have to cancel that shit, especially because I'm working now. I think I'm actually going to have to do that. With me, like, going to be... For my actual clothes from now on, I plan on switching the machines around. So, like, if I have a free day off work, that's the day I'm going to have to wash my clothes now. Because I'm going to do those in the day. We just did the ringer, so the next time I have clothes to wash, we're going to do Wave Force. And I think we'll just rotate machines like that. Bedding, though, is always going to be done in the 8900, I feel. It's just the best machine for it. It's a front loader. I love the Wave Force, don't get me wrong. But if there's one thing it's going to struggle at, it's going to be bulky items. Even still, it did great, yes. But with bulky items, the 8900 just shines there. It's a big machine. The temperature shouldn't be affecting me too much out here. We had a minute where like my phone was like overheating on streams, so I couldn't do them. But we can alleviate that just by throwing an external mic on the phone and pointing a fan at it, so the mic isn't getting hit with it. Now that I might be getting own 3 machines soon, what should each machine be used for? Honestly, just experiment and figure it out. That's how I did mine. Less experimenting and more of just I owned the wave force for a long time and know the wave force is better with actual clothes than the 8900 is. And the ringer, guess why I'm not washing bedding in the fucking ringer. Well, Ethan, you also live in Fresno. It gets a lot hotter down there than it does over here. They just keep soaking all the water up. It won't turn the jets on. Oh. Okay, never mind. Those jets are already pretty foamy. Oh my god, you could tell it's struggling so bad. Holy shit. I wonder which side has more water in it right now. Big question. The good news is that this doesn't take nearly as long to saturate as any of my other loads that I do the saturation for. And by saturation, it's just pre-wash. Why did that take you so long? Gang had to sit there and think about it for a minute. This is some of the most interesting wash action I've ever seen. Oh. I am honestly looking for new pillows. Like, why is it... I mean, I suppose weight distribution is the normal answer. Take 3 Tylenol. Choose not enough. 4 will kill you. I'm gonna be honest. Guys, do not take this as advice in the slightest. I need to express this now so that I don't die if this happens. I am not a medical professional in the slightest. But If you are taking a medication where 3 is not enough and 4 is too much, if you really need it, take 4. If you really, really need it. If you don't really need it though, then only take 3. Even if it isn't enough. I'd say take the 3, and if it's bearable, could just leave it at that. If you can't though, take the extra one. Again, I'm not a medical professional. I have to say this or someone might come and kill me. You know, I probably should go take some Tylenol. My shoulder really fucking hurts. I'm gonna go take Tylenol. I'll be back. And gang, I'm gonna go take 3 Tylenol. I'm back, gang. And we are about to take the 3 Tylenol I was just talking about. I need something to drink with them. Honestly, been a minute since I had a Coke. You know, I always, whenever I go and, like, get food, I always get, like, the iced tea or something. I don't get Coke enough. Coke is a solid drink. And fountain Coke especially. Fountain Coke, excellent. Not the fucking extra strength. You're trying to kill your liver. Was that... dude, I don't know if there's an extra strength one. All I know is... take 3. You know what? I've got to go back inside now. Now I got to go check Am I about to fucking trip? Dude. Well, everyone's favorite dumbass is back. I just took 1,500 milligrams. I just took 1.5 grams of Tylenol, apparently. So, I don't know what happens now. If someone in the chat is saying that they have 800 milligrams because their pain is so bad prescribed to them, what the fuck does double that do? I don't really see another option other than to just let it happen. Because, like, what am I supposed to do at this point? Just kill myself? I mean, that's the only, like, obviously I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing that would prevent this from happening because I would not be alive to experience it. Ibuprofen 800 milligrams. Okay. Ibuprofen and Tylenol are two very different things. If I took 1.5 grams of ibuprofen, I think I would have the worst sleep paralysis of my life. Every time I take ibuprofen, I have sleep paralysis that night. I don't know how long it's going to take it to set in, but this is going to be an interesting stream. This will be a very interesting stream. 400 milligrams of Tylenol will literally damage your liver. Well, thank God I didn't take 4 grams. Thank God I didn't take 4 grams of it. So, I think we're chilling. Please just balance, gang. Please, gang. I'm asking nicely for you to balance. Would you be so kind as to balance for me? I see that your pillows have shifted, but I beg. If you do not do this for me, then I might just cry. Oh. Okay, well that got a little bit of water out. Okay. But it's slowly making progress, so that's good. Eating a magnificent salad here right now. Each failed balance attempt puts us about 20 RPM over the last one. What type of salad? It's an Asian salad. It comes in a little bag from the store. Caesar salad isn't my favorite. I'll respect a Caesar salad, but I'm not a big fan of like those kind of dressings in salad. Like ranch, for example. Ranch is a great thing to like eat chicken, pizza with. I love ranch. Don't get me wrong. I do not think it has a place on salad. It overwhelms everything, really. I will say, the Taco Bell chicken with the fire ranch sauce, though. Incredible. Incredible. They're still selling it, I think. Should I whack him with the timeout? Oh, I didn't even see him until just now. Let's not time him out. Let's just see what happens, honestly. Let's just see what happens. I don't think this is going to end well. I don't see this ending well for him. That pillow's slowly moving to the side. And when it does, is it going to go horribly off balance? It's getting closer to doing it. It's about to do it. It's just wiping the glass down, honestly. Oh, no, we're good. .600 RPM. Should be the speed we get to. Nope. We're going beyond that, actually, for this first interim. You know what? Now's a good time for this. Fellas, meat discussion. What are we thinking? What are we thinking on meat? Me personally, beef over all else. I think beef is the best meat. Okay, so we got an hour and 9 still on the clock. I'm about to pour out our... Well, how does one describe this? How does one describe such? Our cup, I should say. And I normally don't do this, but since I am using said plastic cup, I am actually going to put it inside. No matter how annoying I think it is. Has to be medium rare. In my opinion, I'm going to get smited for this. This is like an L take, and I'm aware of it. I cannot do steak unless it is well done. Now, if I was eating like a super fancy steak, then that's one thing, because it would be straight up disrespectful. But if this is my decision, and this is just a regular steak, I'm just going to go for, well, that's just how I like it. That's a death sentence for your machine. I don't really think it is. I'm going to be honest. I don't think so. Granted, it is full of ultra concentrated Persil, it says. So, let's see. Hopefully that cup gets like surrounded by the pillows in there, so we don't exactly hear it much. Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I hate putting the cup in the machine, but that's why I don't really use the cups. But I think with pillows, it should mitigate the noise as much as possible. Never mind. I just heard it hit the tub. Okay. No, I think we're good still. I do need to move that pillow, though. Otherwise, the water is not going to get in. Yeah, I need to move that pillow a little. Doesn't need much, just a simple... Oh. If I can just... Well, that alone is enough right there. Just needs an opening. As long as it has an opening in the middle for the recirc water to get in there, we should be okay. Well, it's going to do filtration, so... What's your guys' opinion on Kieran dating a child? It's 100% legal. He's literally not dating a child, though. It's perfectly legal across both of their states. It's totally fine. That one I will agree with. I found it pretty wild how fast Kieran moved on. Then again, I have also moved on pretty fast a few times. And I do also know things that you guys do not know. There were reasons behind why things happened. No, Kieran wasn't cheating on Matthew or anything like that. But this was not just an odd thing. There was a lot building up to this. If Kieran already was looking at someone else at the time, I would not be surprised. Not saying Kieran would cheat or anything. I don't think Kieran would do that. But I'm just saying, Kieran and Iota definitely had something. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. And let's not forget about the possibility that Kieran might have got with Iota in the first place, or gotten closer to Iota in the first place, in order to get closer, or not to, in order to get closer, sorry. He might have gotten with Kieran. Fuck. Iota might have gotten with Kieran, or sorry, the other way around. I think the fucking accidental Tylenol fuckover I just did is beginning now. My apologies, gang. Anyways, I think that Kieran got with Iota, maybe not got with him, but definitely got closer to Iota in means through coping with the loss of Matthew. Is that not too far-fetched to say? Is it not too far-fetched to say that the loss of Matthew was pretty hard on him. So instead of him just weeping by himself or going through whatever he was going through, he went to Iota because Iota was someone he could trust, and he went to them for help on this. And the two bonded over this. Is that not too far-fetched to say? Hard on him, he brought this upon himself. Regardless of who was at fault for the downfall of the relationship, breakups are hard, period. It doesn't matter if he brought that on himself. All of those videos where even cheaters get exposed for cheating, they beg for the person to stay with them. It doesn't matter what he did. If Matthew left, yeah, he's gonna be distraught over that. He treated Matthew so badly. I really don't, Matthew, from what I've heard, and I'm gonna say this now, I am a pretty good, reliable source when it comes to this stuff. From what I understand, the reason, and yes, I am going to drop this. I'm going to drop it right now. Because at this point, I feel like we've gone too far. I feel like there needs to be clarification. The reason why Matthew left the relationship is not because Kiernan was abusing him. Let's drop that one right now. It's not because Kiernan was cheating on him. None of this. The entire reason why the relationship failed was because Matthew and Kiernan could not communicate properly with each other. They just couldn't. That's not the fault of either of them. The way they both communicated just didn't work out. Matthew could tell Kiernan something, and Kiernan could take that entirely the other way than Matthew did. And vice versa. So this led to a lot of fights. This led to a lot of arguments. I know this because the second any of them happened, where did Matthew go? Straight to me. I was called once, 5 in the morning my time, 7 in the morning for them. I was out doing trains at the time, and I was called by Matthew. They were having some big problem or something. It was related to, I think, the Chug Chug. It was related to the Chug Chug. And Matthew was saying to me that Kiernan was not cooperating with him. If Matthew told Kiernan to do something, Kiernan wouldn't do it because Kiernan automatically assumed that he couldn't. So then afterwards, I went to Kiernan about this. Kiernan told me that he didn't understand what Matthew was trying to tell him, so he couldn't do it. 2 entirely different things. 2 very different sides of the story. And I'm going to say this now, just for everyone on here, because this is just general good relationship advice. A good thing to consider if you like someone, it's not just the looks. It's never about the looks. It's about who the person really is. And I feel like that's some basic knowledge at this point. So I'm going to go a step further and say this. If you want to have a successful relationship with this person, and I'm going to say this, not just from the experience of this. I myself have about more exes than I can count on 2 hands. I was really looking for the right one ever since I was in middle school. There's this big story. I can go on about it. And you know what? I think I should. Tonight is one of those nights where I have to get deep with you guys in order for us to understand fully what I'm trying to say here. Back when I was just a wee little boy, I think I was like 9 or 10 at the time, I was just hanging out with the kids on my street. And I'm not going to name these people because I don't want people going and trying to search for these people. They were bad people. I do not want you guys searching for them and interacting with them. I still see one of these people sometimes just on the side of the road. And I'm just going to say this here. If you ever feel like something is not right for you, trust that instinct. Because I still have my bike over in the corner. I don't really use it much anymore because I drive places now. But it's still there. It's sitting right in front of the ringer. And so I would hang out with these people all the time just because I was lonely. I was a little kid. The internet wasn't as big of a thing for us back then as it was now. So I was looking for people to hang out with. And there's a whole big story behind this. But the two main characters, we're going to call them H and D. H, this was 2019, maybe 2018, one or the other. 2018, I think, convinced me to download TikTok on my little Samsung tablet. And I did, started posting the videos, got like no views. That account is long gone now. There's no need to try to search for it. It even had some crazy name that I don't even remember. But this account was crazy. I posted all sorts of cringe stuff on it. But that's not the big thing I'm trying to say with this story. The big thing I'm trying to say is that D came into my life a couple years after, and she was friends with H. And the two of them together, not really the two of them together actually, mostly D. This was around, I think she was 12, maybe 13 at the time. And this was around the time of the Black Lives Matter protests. Now, I don't care what your opinion is on it, but they were trying to push this agenda upon me. I was 10 years old at the time. 10 years old, learning about big political problems in the world, learning about identity. They pushed this on me so hard that I had to be somebody. I had to be someone who was not just straight man. I had to be something other than that. And if anyone else is thinking this way, I just need to say this now. That is entirely not true. You can be whatever you want. If you are perfectly fine with the way you are right now, then you can stay that way. There's no problem with it. If you feel like there's something that needs to change, then you can change that. There is nothing wrong with doing that. You can be whoever you want to. It's 2026. However, as a 10-year-old learning about these concepts, it was very damaging to me. I don't remember how many things they convinced me that I was, that I really was not. But at the end of it all, I was 12 at the time now. This has been 2 years later. They went up to my mom while I was at my sister's house spending the night, because I used to do that a lot. And they were like, hey, so through Discord, we have proof that your son raped one of our friends. Now listen, how do you rape someone through Discord? I know I'm using the big boy words here, but I'm not going to be one of those people who says they were unalived by a pew-pew. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say those things. Fellas, how do you rape someone through Discord? You can't. Matter of fact, these were fake screenshots too. They made an account which looked identical to mine, and because they were like 13 at the time and I was 12 or 11 at the time, it was super easy to do that. This is old Discord, not new Discord where like the ads and stuff. It was the name and then the 4-digit number at the end. So they made an account identical to mine. They went up to their friend and they had like this whole like role play thing they were doing. And so my mom calls me on the way home and she's like, hey, this isn't true, right? And I'm like, no, obviously not. And she's like, okay, that's what I thought. I never talked to them since. But the damage was still done. The damage was still done. They had still tricked me into thinking I was who I am. So, thus went on the e-dating. From the ages 13 to 15, I dated about, my estimate is 15 to 20 people over Discord. Random people who were just connections to my other friends I had. I was manipulated multiple times. Looking back, I was groomed once or twice. But throughout every single thing that happened, it helped me learn about relationships. And it helped me learn who I was. If I could go back and undo everything, I wouldn't. Because it taught me everything that I know now. Even if the method was questionable. So, moral of the story. And by the way, let me just say this. That era ended when I met Ryan. Today marks 835 days of that relationship. We're still going strong. So, after all of this stuff that's happened to me, I can tell you with complete certainty, the biggest thing you need in a relationship, above everything else, the absolute biggest thing you need is to communicate well with your partner. Whatever that looks like. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever that looks like for them, you two need to connect. That is the most important advice that I can possibly give you, above all else. Make sure that you two can effectively communicate before anything else. And this relates back to the Kieran and Matthew thing I was talking about earlier. Kieran and Matthew could not communicate well. Kieran's style of communication, while it may work out for Kieran and Iota, did not work out for Matthew. If you meet somebody who you cannot effectively communicate with, you can't get your points across to them well, or they can't get their points across to you well, or you two just generally don't get along the best, that relationship isn't going to last. That is the biggest advice that I think I've ever given on this channel, but it's true. Never, ever try to date someone who you cannot communicate effectively with. And to throw something else on top of that, this is advice that's thrown around all the time, but it's true. Never date someone who you will have to change yourself in order to date. I have done those things. That is called manipulation. If you have to change yourself in some way in order to get this person to pursue a relationship with you, then that relationship is not meant to happen because they do not want you for you. Never, ever do that. But I've said my piece. We don't need this to be the entire stream, do we? But I hope that what I've said tonight affects someone. If you had a podcast, I'd deadass listen. You know, recently, I've been finding a lot of time to myself. Granted, I go in for a job tomorrow. But that might be something I look into, you know? Looks like you've got a lot of pressure in there. Not exactly. Alright, have a good night, General Washers. Hello. What's your opinion on the Kenmore Oasis? The agitator one or the fat fin one? You know what? I'll give you both. The agitator one I've actually used. I was very, very young at the time, but I did use the agitator Oasis. It was a pretty solid machine. I really liked it, I will say. The fat fin version, though, 100% better. 100% better. You'll get it eventually. Yeah, you might be suds locking. Just maybe. It might have suds locked, guys. Do you think it's suds locked? I'm not so sure. Maybe we should ask it later. Maybe it just needs a little confidence boost. How many rinses do we have left? I just felt like asking your opinion of a random machine to break the silence. Yeah, that's true. You know, I wouldn't say I would create a podcast. I don't think I'd exactly have the schedule for that, but something I have been considering. I've definitely been considering this one. If you would give me a solid chunk of time, I do want to make one of those Minecraft videos where it's just the Minecraft in the background, and the entire video is just me talking about stuff. I see these put up a lot. I wouldn't make it my regular content at all, but I do want to make one 12-hour, because that's the max YouTube will allow, just a 12-hour video of me just talking. Just talking about stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I feel like a lot of people, because I've been complimented about this my entire life, and that's just the main reason I wanted to start this in the first place. People like my voice. For some reason. I personally, I don't see how great it is, really. But then again, that's probably because it's my voice. You don't look at yourself in the mirror every day and go, dang, I look absolutely great. You don't say that exactly every day. Maybe if you've got a good outfit on or something, you'll compliment yourself a little bit. But most days, you're just like, eh. But even still, people will come up to you sometimes and be like, hey, you look pretty good today. You could probably get good views of the Minecraft shorts. I don't really... My thing is not exactly shorts. I do want to make a short here and there. Not on Minecraft, but just a short. And I've been doing so. But that's less of a thing that I'd want to pursue. Shorts aren't exactly my style of things, if that makes sense. They're just not. Sure, I stream vertical, but if I'm posting a video, it's going to be horizontal. I think, in my opinion, short-form content is awful. I think we need less of it. Does it give you the views? Yeah, it does, sure. But even still, it's less about views for me and more about just what I'm going to do. Now that I'm 18, there's no tax problems or anything with me monetizing my channel, which we had issues with before. So I do plan on doing that. I will just say, when my first paycheck comes in, I'm going to open a bank account, and I'm going to start monetizing my channel and putting it into the bank account. And when I do, I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to be one of those guys who throws ads all over in the videos. Not going to do that. I'm going to go back on my videos and add some ads here and there. But there's a little thing which a lot of creators don't exactly do right. And that is ad placement. You can place an ad anywhere in a video. You can do that. So if I make... No, please do not do that. Please, I beg. Nope, you are still popped out. Where are you trying to leak from? Where exactly are you trying to leak from? Nowhere. Well, okay. Not sure why you decided to do that. I've been trying to monetize my channel, but YouTube has been declining it. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen to me. But if I was to throw ads in a video, a lot of creators just throw them around randomly. I think putting an ad at the beginning of your video, bad. If I see a video and I click on it and I get an ad, usually I'll just click off. And granted, I have a job. I don't plan on this being a main source of income for me by any means. But let's use washers as an example. We take a normal cycle. Let's just say, take a normal cycle, for example, here. The machine goes from the wash into the first spin, like it's doing right now. Ad, right here. Literally right here would be the perfect placement for an ad. Even if it was a premiere or something, if you watched the ad, and let's say it was unskippable, by the time you got back, you didn't miss anything. There's no information lost, nothing like that. It's the perfect placement. A lot of creators would just throw them smack dab in the middle of the wash cycle, I feel. Most people would do that, I feel. It's not about that. Ad placement should not only, in my opinion, ad placement should not be used for just random monetary purposes. Ad placement should be used as a transition. If you were editing a video, and these were clips you had, each portion of your video was a clip, and you would put a transition between two very important clips, ad. It just works. It just works. And that is how you place ads strategically so you don't lose your viewers. Now, there's another thing with this. A lot of creators will put an ad before a huge, build, let's say Mr. Beast, for example. I haven't watched Mr. Beast in so long, but let's just say he was to do this. Let's say Mr. Beast was about to blow up, an abandoned hospital. I don't know why that's the first thing I thought of, but that's the first thing I thought of. Mr. Beast is about to blow up an abandoned hospital. He's about to do it, gets his hand on the button, ad, right there. Because he knows that his viewers are going to watch that ad to watch the abandoned hospital explode. I think that is so annoying. I despise when creators do that. If I had to give a baseline for ad placement, it would be, don't put an ad before something is big and expected, because if you lead someone up to believing something's about to happen and they get an ad right there, that is the most disappointing feeling. It's like listening to a song and the build-up is really good and then the drop is totally ass. That's what that's like. It's the exact same feeling. So don't put ads in places like that. Use your ads sparingly. If you have a 30-minute video, that video does not need an ad every 10 minutes. It doesn't. A lot of creators like to do that. No. Your video does not need an ad every 10 minutes. But let's say you have an hour-long video. Throw 3 ads in that, split it in thirds, if that could work. Don't overdo it. The more ads you put on a video, the less enjoyable it is. And my third one, the one I've already said, Jesus. The third one is use your ads sparingly. Use your ads... Well, yeah, I already said use your ads sparingly. Sorry, not use your ads sparingly. Use your ads as minor transitions. Not the major ones. The minor ones. Let's say I was making a video. You know what? Let's just say I was making a video about 2 different laundromats. Or multiple different laundromats. Like, let's think about power washers real quick. That old video that I made. Let's say that I do one machine. And then we move to the next machine. So let's say we went from T300 to T400, for example. I don't remember what the 30-pounder was. But let's say T300 to T400. Throw an ad between the T300 and the T400. There's no major build-up there. There's nothing expected that you're about to miss out on. It's just, okay, let's move on to the next thing. Throw it right there. Not a huge problem at all. Something I don't get is ads at the end of the videos. I immediately just click off or watch a different video. That's true. I never really thought about that one because, yeah, that's exactly the same thing that I do as well. But if I had to give a guess as to why people do that, it's because it's expected. And if you start seeing me do that on videos as well, once I monetize, then that is for one particular reason. That's because I'm expecting people to click off it instantly, but it still generates revenue even if you just view the ad. If that's how YouTube calculates it, absolutely. Absolutely. If you get an ad at the end of the video, and even just the fact that the ad showed up counts, then 100% I'm going to do that. Because then, no matter what the video is, you get to the end of it, you get the ad, you just click off. Even if you don't click off, it's not going to be annoying because, you aren't missing anything. There you go. Sometimes I don't even realize it's the end of the video and I watch the ad anyways. That's true. That's true. What I might start doing in my videos from now on, because I edit all of my long form ones anyways, is I might put ad warnings up. I might, put up a little text on the corner that says, ad in 30 seconds. That way, you're expecting it, so it's no biggie. I think it's really, really annoying when ads just show up. But if I was told I'm going to be seeing an ad soon, then honestly, I don't think I'd mind it nearly as much. I really don't think I would. That might only be me, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think it is. But I don't know. What do you guys think? If you were watching a video and you were aware that the ad is about to pop up, would you mind it nearly as much? Sure, it's annoying. It would be a little annoying, considering it's an ad, right? No one likes ads. But even still, if you knew it was going to come up, I don't think it would be nearly as bad. I don't know. These are just ideas I'm throwing out. Because I do want to, obviously, I'm going to have a job. So this isn't going to be a huge thing of mine. But if I'm gonna have a bank account anyways with money coming in from work, then I would like to have some income coming in from YouTube as well. I don't want to be obnoxious with it. That's why I'm throwing around these ideas. It just makes the suffering longer because you know there's an ad and it sucks. That's true. That's true. One thing's for sure though, guys. If I get an option to, I'm not doing unskippables. Unskippables are annoying as shit. If I do the end of the video thing, I think I'll make those ones unskippable. Because I'm sure it still count. I'm sure YouTube's kind of stupid with it. So, I would have to experiment with this over the course of a few videos. So you guys would have to bear with me through that. But once I got it down as to what generates the most for the least annoying, then that would be fine. And when I say generates the most, I don't mean I'm going to be out here like 7 trillion ads. No. Like I've already said, least intrusive as possible is my main goal. That was a short-ass rinse. This next one is the final rinse, and then we're going on our 30-minute spin. And this is another point where I'd probably throw an ad in. Right here. Did not know there was such thing as a 30-minute spin. If you do extra high on normal, you get a 30-minute spin for some reason. Perfect for these pillows, though. I'm going to go use the bathroom. I'll be back. I'm back again. Hopefully I will remain back for a while. I had to put the clothes back into my machine and wash it again because the machine didn't use enough water despite being set to the deep water setting. It only had like 5 inches of water. Let me guess. Whirlpool. Knew it. You can tell, based on how the water is beating on the top here, that there's a softener in there. I'm going to chop all the suds at the bottom down to, what do you call it? Well, aeration because pillows, obviously, 1. And 2, because we've got sanitizer in there. We had softener in the last rinse. I'm not sure the results of the last spin, but I'm pretty positive we didn't suds lock. We probably water locked, if anything. I know it advanced the spin. I'm glad you find this relaxing. I do as well. If I didn't, then, well, I'd probably still be doing it anyways because I enjoy it. Okay. We're now advancing on to the spin, which is at 27 minutes right now. I am going to airdrop my other phone, just a couple of things, real fast. So, if you guys will just give me 1 second here. Well, thanks for the sub, by the way. If you guys will give me just 1 second here, and I will get back to you before it starts spinning. It is done. What are your top 3 favorite machines from the 70s? Ooh. I don't know if I want to pick at all. Like, you gotta understand the era you're asking me to pick from here. For some reason, it's making me save my airdrop to my files. The operation could not be complete because there was no space on the device. Are you serious? And now, that pop-up is just gone. So, I'm going to have to do that again in a few minutes when this cycle ends. Easy, GE filter flow, Whirlpool belt drive, and any Maytag. I do really like the Nord stuff from that era. for me, the 70s is something I can't pick from, just because we had so much good stuff back then. There's not really much to hate about the machines back then at all. Not to find the Frigidaire jet cone machines. I thought the Unimatics were tight. Sleep, please. Go to sleep. Go Alright, let's see what speed we're at. I'm pretty sure we're going to be holding this, so... We got 13 minutes left right now. 1100. Honestly, valid. 1100 for this ain't bad, especially holding it for so long. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have time for the, what do you call it? The sheets tonight. I don't think we are. This took longer than I expected. Not horribly long, but longer than I expected. So, I will still stream the dryer. 6 minutes left on the spin. Yeah, no, guys, it just might come out pretty dry after this. Maybe just a little bit, you know. How did you get into washing machines and trains? Both similar stories. Was introduced to them when I was a kid. And, yeah. Just stuck, I guess. Pretty vague. I was expecting a backstory or something. There really is no backstory. That's really how it started for me. I was a wee little boy, saw the washing machine. It was a front loader, so it was easy for me to see it. Thought it was cool. That's it. That's really it. I wish there was some crazy backstory. At least then, like, when people ask me, like, oh, that's kind of weird, I'd have some cool story to tell. No. I just saw it one day and liked it. That's really it. shoulder hurts, dude. I don't know what I did today, but my shoulder hurts. All right, let me clean the lint trap and stuff before we get these in the dryer. Which, by the way, I am not going to be present for the dryer. I'm going to head inside and just chill. Because I feel like the stream, hasn't really gone too long. But at the same time, I do want to get some rest in before tomorrow. Will I fall asleep? No, probably not. I'm going to hope not, at least. So just give me 1 second here. Unplug you. Could just drop you on the floor, probably. Pillows are always a fun one. Pillows are always a fun one to watch in the dryer anyways. Wouldn't want to miss out on an opportunity for it. I think this might be my first time streaming the pillows drying, if I'm being honest. This might be the first time I've done this. I don't know the optimal... Oh yeah, these are like... Damn, yeah, these are spun good. They smell really good too. Go figure, it's me. I think we'll just... lay them sideways. That would make the most sense, right? Well, naturally they're going to want to go this way, though, I feel. No, they've got more travel room, though, on all sides with this. Okay. Oh, there's the cup. Forgot you were in there. Oh yeah, these smell really good. That Persil is nice. What if I just stack all of you, completely vertically? And I have all of you all the way in the back. So that way, you will all figure out how to maneuver yourselves from there. I think that's a good method. Okay, let me just rearrange my stuff here real quick so that I don't, die or anything. I know you do need to go there, obviously. Or I could put it on the other side. Let's put it on the other side this time. Yeah, we'll put that on the other side. And I'm just going to say this, guys, pillows and sensors do not mix well. This is going to be a long dry. Pillows do not like to sensor dry at all. Or rather, the sensor does not like pillows at all. So we're going to go bedding, very dry, the usual with it. Just the complete usual. Let's throw on the... Not the reduced static. That's not what I wanted. No. Let's throw on the damp dry signal. Oh, you can't even do that. Okay. Well, let's go bedding very dry then. I forgot bedding is picky on what options you can select and such. So we'll just run that. Just that. That alone and nothing more. The dryer is boring, so I'm probably going to dip. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I hope you all who are about to dip have a good night. And to those of us who are continuing, well, I suppose it's just started. And they will rearrange themselves as they see fit. Until then, though, maybe I'll throw some steam on here. Steam and pillows don't really like to mix. Or that's steam in my huge blanket loads. We'll give it steam. Sure. Keep things entertaining. Well, until then, you know what? Changing my mind again. We're not doing Steam. Until this finishes, I will see you guys. And when this does finish, I'm instantly going to be getting off again. So, really doesn't matter. This is like the last time you're hearing from me, I guess. So, I may as well just say goodnight now, since when this finishes, it's probably just going to be either one, I'll be asleep, or two, I will see on my PC that it's finished, and I will come out here, and I will take the stream down. So yeah, I will see you guys. I gotta put these away first. well, it's done. And as I said, that would be the end. And I was right. Goodbye, guys.